everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we have a recap of Hailie Deegan's truck race in Pocono, as well as my cup race in Bristol after we had a solid race in the first race in Bristol earlier this season, so we're looking to do the same thing this time around. But now as we look towards Hailie Deegan's recap in the truck series in Pocono, she started P11 and had a pretty solid handling truck. Based off the feedback given to the team, she slowly worked her way forwards throughout this first stage, just kind of running the bottom line to help her, because obviously the bottom line is what you want to be on at this racetrack. If you get anywhere off of it, you're going backwards likely. As she comes out of turn 1, she worked her way up to P5 by about the midpoint in this race, right behind the 21 of Johnny Sauter. Now, as you see, Brett Moffitt at this point in the race was leading as she came across the line, and by the time we came to the last lap in this race, she did work her way up all the way into the second position now, as she's going to make a pass on the 16 and the 41 into the last corner of this race behind the leader, who was John Hunter Nemechek at this point now, as she tries to clear the 41 out of turn 3, but she just did not have enough time to quite get to the 8 truck. As we come across the line, Hailie Deegan finished P2 in Pocono, so a very solid finish. Obviously starting to get on a bit of a hot streak here as we look towards the playoffs now. I believe there's only one race left in the regular season for the truck series. We'll see once we get back to the main menu, but John Hunter with the victory. He's already got a victory, so that doesn't affect Hailie Deegan in the playoff picture at all, as she brings quite a bit of money to the team there. Now sitting 12th in the points without the playoff standings, and there's actually 2 races to the playoffs, I believe. We got Bristol, and then I'm not really sure what the other race is, but hopefully we don't have a new winner, because if we do get a new winner, then it might get a little close on making the playoffs, but we should be okay going into it, and hopefully we can have some good runs once we hit playoff time, and hopefully she can progress far into the playoffs. Now, as we take a quick look at the point standings, there she is, the last driver in the playoffs. Now, as we switch focus over to our cup race, to the Bristol short track now, as I come to my qualifying attempt, I made the last round, so things were looking really strong at this point in the weekend as we come through out of turn 2, and I already set a 17.0 second lap as we come through turns 3 and 4, trying to set another one as we get really close to the wall on the exit of turn 4 now, behind the 3 of Austin Dillon. As we come across the line, we hit a 17.0 as our best, and we will start P3 for Bristol behind pole sitter Joey Logano.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series returns to the last great Coliseum for the running of the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. One of the most popular events on the NASCAR schedule, this half-mile concrete oval is famous for its bone-rattling hits and heart-stopping finishes. To put it mildly, this race is special, and there's simply nothing quite like Bristol Motor Speedway under the lights. Only 3 races left before the playoffs start. Who will come out on top tonight? Well, it's time to find out on PRN.
Alright, we are ready to get going and underway here in Bristol. Starting from the 3rd starting position, Joey Logano starts on pole. Clint Boyer on the outside front row. Michael McDowell sent to the back after failing optical scanning station multiple times, and Ty Dillon crashed during qualifying, so he will be starting in a backup car for this race as we get ready in the McDonald's Camaro and the number 42 Chip Ganassi Chevrolet as we get ready to go green behind the 22 of Logano, and the green flag is out, and we are underway in Bristol for the night race here as we come into turns 1 alongside the 4 of Kevin Harvick, running that inside line behind the 22 of Logano as he clears Clint Boyer to take the lead down the back straightaway into turns 3 as we get cleared by Harvick, but look to his inside by the time we go into turns 3 and 4 now. On the exit of the corner, though, he is able to clear me down the front straightaway as we finish the first lap and come on to lap 2 now. Through turns 1 and 2, Harvick looks to the inside of his teammate Clint Boyer to try and take P2 away as we already start drifting backwards a little bit as I get into the wall for the first time in this race, allowing the 12 of Ryan Blaney to get to my inside as Clint Boyer up ahead also gets into the wall now, as Blaney pretty much right on my door as we hit the wall once again. And on the exit turn 2, Blaney is able to clear me down the back straightaway as we go into turns 3 with the 41 of Kurt Busch now looking to my inside as we exit turn 4. He clears me and we fall back to P6 early on in this run, and we did lose another position to Truex in the 78 by lap 5, so we fell back to P7. But we do close in on the back bumper of Truex and Boyer as we go through turns 3 and 4. Boyer way wide. He's falling backwards as he hits the wall once again as we make a move to his inside and try to send it right up to his door through the center of the corner on the exit of turn 2. Now side by side as he was able to clear me as we continued to run in P7 behind the 41 of Kurt Busch and the 41 car as we come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway with William Byron behind me as we go into turns 3 and solid entrance into the corners. Kurt Busch goes into the wall hard and he's got a right front tire down now as he's continuing to knock down the wall out of the corner as we gain a position to go to P6 as he continues to hit the wall through the corners, and that's likely going to take him out of this race. And as we come to lap 20 now in this race, or lap 21 with 10 to go in the stage, still running P6 as Kurt Busch is now on pit road. He is pretty much DNF'd. He's been on pit road the whole time since he managed to get there as we knock down the wall going into turns 3. 100% my fault. I completely overshot the corner as we come out of turns 4. We lost the spot to Denny Hamlin by the time we come to lap 28 now in the stage with Kyle Busch in the 18 car behind me trying to run me down for P7 as we just try to hang on as we hit 2 laps to go now at the end of stage 1. Hamlin continues to drive away from me as we go through turns 1 and 2, and I just could not keep up with him. And he's coming off a win a few races ago in Watkins Glen. Harvick won the last race in Michigan starting from the rear, and now Kyle Busch has gotten to my back bumper as we take the white flag now in stage 1, trying to hang on so we can have an inside line starting position for the second stage as Kyle Busch is right on my bumper as we go down the back straightaway into turn 3. We should be able to hang on as we open up the gap down the back straightaway as we come through turns 4 for the final time in stage 1. We will get P7 in the stage. Certainly, I noticed right away, though, that the car was just not driving as good as it was in the first race around at Bristol. Obviously, we had a pretty good race the first time, and Kevin Harvick wins stage 1, so another playoff point to him, and he's pretty much going to lock himself into the final 4 at the rate that he is kind of just dominating the field at as we get ready to go green, and the green flag is back out. Stage 2 is underway. Our teammate Jamie McMurray sits P3. He is in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, and he currently sits in P3 behind the 4 of Harvick as we have Kyle Busch on our outside on the exit of turn 2 as we go into turn 3 now, kind of sending it in pretty deep on the inside of him, trying to get ahead as we come out of turn 4. I could chop him, and we make a little bit of contact as we look to the inside of his teammate Denny Hamlin, now to the back bumper of the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. by the time we exit turn 2, getting very loose on the exit of the corner as we slide up in front of the 18 now, once again to the inside of Denny Hamlin in the 11 car. By the time we exit 4, he's going to clear me, though, on the exit, and it was really hard to fight with these guys on the exit of the corner because they had so much more speed. They had a way better exit than I could get, especially when I was on the bottom of the track. But we continue to try to make the bottom work as we make a little bit of contact with the left rear quarter panel of Denny Hamlin. But by the time we come out of turn 2, we continue to just sit in P7 as Kyle Busch is going to get right on my back bumper, and we move up the track, and that's going to allow the 18 to get around me as the 10 car of Almirola now behind me in P9 runs me down as well. And Eric Almirola, he is almost in a must-win situation. He needs Eric Jones to have some trouble at this point if he wants to make the playoffs as we make a move to the inside of Joey Logano as Almirola is looking to my left rear, but we kind of block as we come down the back straightaway into turns 3 behind the 22 of Logano, getting really close to his bumper. We can really send it in deep on the entrance, but then we seem to pay for it on the exit of the corner now as we come to lap 20 in stage 2, looking Jimmy Johnson looking to our inside as he's trying to take the last stage paying point as we have a caution for the first time in this race, and it's Kevin Harvick. And we just slam right into him as our AI does not know how to avoid him. Harvick goes from dominating this race already to now being out of this race as we're going to gain a position, and we have a lot of damage on the front end as our teammate Jamie McMurray will lead us to the green as we have just a handful of laps to go at this point in stage 2. 5 to go in the stage as we look to the inside of the 48 going into turns 1 and 2 on the exit of the corner. He will clear me with no problem as we go down the back straightaway into turns 3. Just 4 laps to go at the line in stage 2. Now the 48 on my right rear as we come out of turn 4. Jimmy Johnson side by side going into turns 1. Still side by side through the center of the corner as we exit. He should have the run on the top, and yes he does, as we make a little bit of contact with him down the back straightaway as we go into turns 3 as our teammate Jamie McMurray continues to lead as we hit 3 laps to go in stage 2. We are having a really good battle with that 48 at the moment now as the 12 of Ryan Blaney looks to my inside, and we get clear of Jimmy Johnson out of turn 2. Now as Blaney steals the position as we fall back to P10, and we make a 3 wide on Blaney to make contact as we go down the track and come back up, and we are going to hit him again. And now we go way down the track into the inside wall, and we're going to make a huge save as we come back up the track into the side just about of Eric Jones. That nearly turned into a disaster very fast, but thankfully we were able to keep out of trouble now as we fall back though to P14, certainly not having a very good race at this point compared to the spring race in Bristol as we take the white flag in stage 2 with the 95 of Casey Kane trying to pass me. And that's how you know we're struggling right now as we come down the back straightaway for the final time behind the 9 of Elliott, as he must have had a problem as well. As we come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, we're going to get 14th in stage 2, which is a very unfortunate finish for us, but hopefully we can repair the car and figure something out here. Kevin Harvick, he is still in this race. He actually finished 20th in the stage, and Kyle Busch stole the stage victory from our teammate McMurray. Almirola's up to P3, so Kyle Busch now is playoff point. Remember, Kyle Busch currently is winless in this season so far as he tries to get a win, but he is locked in now at this point in the season. He is guaranteed in the playoffs on points, so he's pretty much got nothing to worry about as we lose a handful of spots coming to pit road now as we get ready to go green, and the green flag is back out now with Kevin Harvick starting behind me, as well as I cannot tell who that is in my mirror, but as we go to the inside of these cars into turns 3 and 4, I kind of chopped the 88, made a little bit of contact, 100% my fault, and I really shouldn't have done that, but I was really trying to be aggressive when it comes to getting to the bottom of the track as Eric Almirola leads right now as we come across the stripe to complete the first lap in stage 3. 60 laps remain in this race as we move up to P15 as Kevin Harvick has run me down. Can Kevin Harvick go from wrecking? Apparently we can wreck just about now as we get very loose on the exit of stage, or the second corner as Kevin Harvick, I was going to say if he can go from maybe wrecking to maybe winning this race still, because he clearly has a very fast car as we get into the back of the 38 of David Reagan, and you can just see how bad I am struggling at getting through all of this traffic. I'm just running into everything just about at this point as Alex Bowman now looks to my inside on the exit of turn 4, still getting very loose, and those adjustments I made on pit road might have not been a good idea as the 88 is going to give me the bumper as we go into turns 1, and that pushes me into his teammate of Chase Elliott as we come down the back straightaway. Bowman giving me a very hard time as we come through turns 3 and 4 on the inside of Allmendinger. Now the 88 will get clear as now we look on the inside of Allmendinger into turns 1 and 2 as we have 57 laps to go now in this race as we come out of turn 2. And Allmendinger is going to continue to hang on my right door as we come into turns 3 and 4, giving the 88 another bit of a bump to let him know maybe I didn't really appreciate what he did a few laps ago. This has certainly been a very hectic start to the final stage, and this currently has not been my race as we sit P14 on lap 70 now on the inside of the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, who's stuck behind the 43 of Bubba Wallace, who I believe stayed out and is certainly not the fastest car on the track right now as we get hit in the left rear by the 2 and is 4 wide behind us, and they're all into the wall as the 43 of Bubba Wallace, gets the short end of the stick now as he pretty much has his race destroyed right there as we look to the inside of the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and it's certainly getting physical at this point in the race, and it was certainly not benefiting myself as we now come to lap 80 trying to hold off Paul Menard as we sit P15 behind the 18 car of Kyle Busch who won stage 2. He's trying to rally his way back forwards now as we sit behind him as he gets to the inside of Alex Bowman as we come out of turn 4 to cross the stripe. It is just 45 laps to go, which sounds like a lot, but at Bristol that is not a lot at all as Kyle Busch just charges through this pack of cars. He gains at least 5 positions out of that. We go to the inside and hit the apron in turns 3 and 4, but we hang on to the car. Another big save. That's not the first time we've had to make a pretty significant save in this race as we chop the 21 going into turns 1 and 2. 3 wide with Stenhouse and Suarez. Suarez backs out now just side by side with Stenhouse as he does clear me going into turns 3, but we send it in way deep and we're going to try and pull the slide job on him, but he is able to keep me from doing that as we come into turn 4, and I kind of put him in the wall. 100% my fault as we look to the inside of Hemrick, and now Stenhouse is going to send it back up my inside and door slam me into the 8 now as we go into turns 3, trying to hang on as we make more contact in the 17 sideways, but he hangs on to the car as we come out of turn 4 sitting P10, and up ahead we have a car spinning in the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. as he collects Jimmy Johnson and he hits the inside wall, and it's going to somehow stay green as we come through to roll past the incident as he comes back on the track, and I could not believe that the caution did not come out in this race as we continue to run in P10, and I was really hoping for a caution, but unfortunately they did not want to throw it. Now as we come to lap 93, we did gain one more position. We got up to P9 now behind the... Okay, Ryan Blaney's going to just full send it up my inside and door slam me into the wall, and if I get back to him, he's certainly going to regret that one, as now we have to run him back down as we fall back to P10. Eric Jones sits behind me in 11th as now we shift up to lap 97. William Byron now in a battle with me as he clears me with ease for P10 as Eric Jones fell out of the picture as we get into the back of William Byron and get him loose as he slowed up much earlier than I anticipated. As we come out of turn 4, he thankfully keeps the car straight with 28 laps to go, and we get hit now by the 17, and this race has just been such a physical race that I've really paid the price for it now as we come into turns 3 and 4. This is a completely different race than the spring race was here, and we did a lot better in that spring race as we come into turn 4, losing a spot to Bowman. Now up ahead we have more smoke now as we come to lap 103, and that's Brendan Gaughan in the outside wall as we sit P13 behind 12th place of William Byron. And now we come into turn 3 and we're going to have to play the avoiding game as Byron, he's going to go high and I'm going to split and go low now as we come out of turn 4 side by side with the 24 of William Byron, and we're going to go into turn 1 and pull out the slide job as we slide up in front of him as he tries to cross over, but we make sure he cannot get to my inside as we exit turn 2 now as we come to lap 115 with just 11 laps to go in this race. We come through to lap Michael McDowell as we exit turn 2. William Byron still on my back bumper. We've been having one heck of a battle throughout the final, really, couple 20-ish laps of this race as he kind of falls back a little bit as we hit 10 to go, but he was able to run me back down as Stenhouse in P9 clears David Reagan in the 38 car to kind of put him a lap down as Reagan is sitting in P30 not having a great race. Actually, that's probably a career day for him this season as we come out of turn 4 and we hit the wall, and that's going to allow the 24 of William Byron to close the gap on me now through turns 1 and 2 with just 9 laps to go at this point in the race as we come out of turn 2, and the 38 is going to continue to run on my door, but we do clear him as we go into turn 3, and William Byron will clear him as we come out of turn 4 as I once again screw up the exit of 4 and get into the wall a bit with 8 to go, just trying to hang on to 11th at the least over William Byron as he's right on my back bumper now down the back straightaways. He kind of has a bad exit, and that's something very popular with the AI here. They pretty much have bad exits when they exit on the low side of the track now as we hit just 7 laps to go in this race as we come to 6 to go now on the back bumper, just about a Matt DiBenedetto trying to get ahead of him. As we come into turn 2, William Byron with a big run on the exit of the corner as we come down the back straightaway trying to get ahead of Matt DiBenedetto to put him a lap down. Obviously he's already a lap down, but we lap him now as we exit turn 4, approaching 28th place of AJ Allmendinger going into turns 1 and 2. William Byron gets past Benedetto with no problem at all as well as we come out of turn 2. Now he's still on my back bumper as we go into turns 3 behind the 47 and the 15 of Allmendinger and Chastain as we come out of turn 4. Right on Chastain's left rear as we hit him as we go into turns 1 and 2, looking to the inside trying to make sure I gain the position as Williams going to force it 3 wide just about now as we come into turn 2. He's on my door as we go into turn 3 down the back straightaway, and we make contact and we hit the 47 and the 24 and into the wall we go, and the 24 and the 47 both go around as we just about get destroyed on the exit of turn 4 as we bring out a caution, as that was kind of my fault. I won't be afraid to admit it. And now we're going to be going to overtime starting on the inside line, and this has just been a rough race, and maybe we can get a top 10 out of it if we're lucky as the green flag drops now. 2 laps to go, and Kevin Harvick leads after wrecking earlier in this race now with 2 to go as he's just putting on a dominating performance these last handful of races. As we come into turn 2, a lap and a half remains as we come down the back straightaway into turn 3, looking to the inside of the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as Kevin Harvick comes out of turn 4. He will take the white flag as he leads the field going into turns 1 for the final time as I kind of get defensive on Paul Menard through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway now we go for the final time in this race into turns 3 and 4. Kevin Harvick looking like he will hold off the 22 as we exit turn 4. It's going to be a side-by-side finish up ahead, but Kevin Harvick will win as we lose the spot to Paul Menard right at the end to drop back to P12 in Bristol. A very, very rough race on me, and a very unfortunate race compared to the spring race here, and I don't know what it was, but we just sucked in this race, and it was really unfortunate as Kevin Harvick, the last race, Kevin Harvick started in the back, and he won this race. Kevin Harvick dominated, crashed the car, fell back outside the top 20, and still won the race. So he is clearly the guy to beat at this point in the season, as he now has 5 wins and over 30 playoff points. As we come to the main menu, we got quite a bit of money, over $700,000. And yeah, we do not have drivers that are very happy with me, and that's not surprising because we really had a bad race. It was very physical. Clint Boyer, he's not happy, so we're going to apologize to him. Ryan Blaney, he is a little upset, and Jimmy Johnson, he's just going to lay it out straight. He says it must have been our first time at Bristol, and I really pretty much drove like it was. That was a terrible race for us. I think maybe I should have ran a bit more of a custom setup. That could have maybe helped me, but who knows. We'll obviously be looking to Bristol in the spring race next season, and hopefully we can improve that time around as we look at the point standings to end out this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated, more than you guys actually know. And I would like to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos, and I will see you guys in the next episode in Darlington for the throwback race. Take care, everybody, and I will see you guys next time.